Hi, it's Celeste Majors, your canary in the coal mine. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fasting. Now this isn't for everyone, but I decided to go on a fast. And I'm on day 40, which is my last day of a 40-day fast. All I'm eating, if you want to call it that, is water with a little bit of vitamin powder and some mineral drops in it to keep my electrolytes in balance. I went yesterday for a blood test, so I'll be able to see whether my blood work looks good after this. But I started doing this because I heard something on the internet that I thought really made sense to me. I've been on fasts before, but this was about, it was a series on diabetes. And they were talking about what good results they were having with putting people on who have diabetes on fasting to bring their blood sugar levels down, and then they're saying that they stay down after that. Well, I've been noticing that my blood sugar levels have been climbing a little bit. I take a glucose meter and take my blood sugar levels every morning when I wake up, and they've been rising, and I thought it was just the stress that I was under because my mother was in the dying process, but after she died, they didn't come down again. So I thought, well, I've been on fast before, I can do this, let me try this and see if it works. And in the future I'll record a video telling you whether or not my blood sugar levels got back down again and whether they've stayed down. But I can't tell you that right now. And the second reason why I started doing this was for spiritual reasons. There's a long tradition of people using fasting to move forward spiritually. And since I feel like I'm at a transition point in my life, I feel like I'm breaking into a new life at this point. Since my mother died a few months ago, it's like I'm free to do other things other than be her caregiver and try to keep my life together. So that's another reason why I'm doing this. But I wanted to show you, it's been 40 days and I'm not dead, and I haven't fainted once. I haven't spent one day in bed. I haven't caught any colds or any illnesses. I've been feeling pretty good most of the time. The first few days are usually the roughest because your body is still craving the foods that you're not eating. And if you're coming off of the standard American diet, it's even rougher because your body will want hamburgers and milkshakes and all those things. But in my case, I was coming off of a vegan diet. So although I still kind of wanted to go have some food, it wasn't that my cravings weren't as strong as other times in my life when I actually was moving from a standard American diet into a fast. So I made it through the first couple of days. I looked longingly in the refrigerator a few times, and I could tell it was much more mental than it was physical. And after the first few days, that all went away, and I just sort of settled into an easy pattern. And for the most part, it's been fairly easy. The only thing I really notice is that my energy level is down, that I don't have as much stamina as I might otherwise have. I'm still lifting weights as part of my exercise program, and I'm still able to lift as much weight as I had been in the past, but I can't do as many reps. I have to, I can only do about half the number of reps that I would have been able to do in one single burst. And so I do 2 rounds, and complete the total number of reps I want to, but I can't do it all in one burst because I seem to run out of gas. But that's about the only effect that I can tell. My head feels really clear, no brain fog, in other words, it cleared brain fog. And I feel really alert. I feel I haven't been having any trouble sleeping. What else? It's just been a good experience, and I've certainly lost weight. Areas where my body stores fat have become much thinner now. They're not padded like they used to be, so that's good. I've lost 24 pounds, but I expect to gain back somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 pounds because my gut is empty. So we carry around at least a few pounds in our intestines and bowels all the time, and I don't have any. So that's part of the reason why I expect to gain weight back as soon as I start to eat. And also, I don't have any excess water in my body the way people who eat a lot of salt in their diet, and you may think, well, I don't eat much salt in my diet because I don't salt my food. But if you're eating processed food of any sort or restaurant food of any sort, you're getting more salt because it's just built into the food. So I expect when I start eating again that the water accumulation will start again a little bit, although not much because I don't eat hardly any packaged food. And certainly my gut will fill up with food, so that'll add the weight back. But my primary purpose was not to lose weight, although I thought I did need to lose some padded areas on my body, and I've been watching them carefully, to make sure that I don't exceed the limit on how long I should do this. But my goal was 40 days, and I've reached it today. So, another thing that I thought was really interesting, besides taking off the fat outside of my muscles underneath my skin, it's also taken out a lot of the fat inside my belly area. That's the fat that doctors always tell you to be worried about, and I can tell that I'm substantially less fatty inside because when I lay on my back, my belly sort of caves in from my hip bone to my hip bone. And also I can feel more inside. If I push on my abdomen, I can feel the organs in there, and I can feel there's not a whole lot of extra stuff in there. So that was another good benefit of doing this. What else can I think of? Anything else that you might be interested in? Well, altogether, I just wanted to show you that it is possible to go this long without food and not die. I've told some of my students that this used to be a normal way of life for people in ancient times because the food supply was not available sometimes a year. In other words, you ate abundantly during the summer and the fall when all the things were coming into ripeness and the seeds were available and the fruit was available and everything. But then when you got into the winter and early spring, there was very little food available except maybe what you've stored if you put away some grain or you have some potatoes in the root cellar. And so people routinely would go into sort of a period of fasting, self-imposed or otherwise, in the winter and spring, and that was helpful to the body. One of the things the body does when it doesn't have to digest food is it does house cleaning. It cleans out dead and diseased tissue. So in the natural world, people routinely once a year had this cleaning out process that was happening. But in our world today, where there's food everywhere you look, there's a vending machine or even gas stations have food now and stuff. We never get that chance for the body to quit having to expend its energy on the digesting of food and giving it an opportunity to use its energy to clean house. So that's what my body is doing right now. It's cleaning house. And so tomorrow, New Year's Day, I'm going to start eating again, very lightly at first. You can't, it would be too much of a shock to eat heavy. So I'm going to start off with some juicy fruits and work my way toward, some raw veggies and a lot of raw vegetable juice, and then maybe toward some cooked food. But, as long as I don't have a big reaction when I start eating again, I'm going to stick with the raw food as much as possible because raw food brings in the highest level of nutrition. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just wanted to document that it's been 40 days and I'm alive and I'm not feeling bad or anything. I did not suffer the whole time. You don't feel hungry and hungrier the whole time. The hunger thing goes away in a few days. And after that, the last time I did a big fast, I had body aches, because I didn't understand some things about my body at that time, and I was also shifting from a standard American diet directly into a fast. But now it was pretty easy, I have to admit, although I'm looking forward to having some food tomorrow. So thanks. That's all I wanted to tell you. And as usual, I want you to get well and stay well.